The recognition of Morocco by Jacob Zuma is not a surprise. Jacob Zuma represents everything that is wrong. That is pursued by sellout. And that's what it is. We as the ANC, we will fight side by side for the self-determination of the Sahrawi people. We are in solidarity with them, and Morocco must stop the occupation of Western Sahara. Zuma is no messiah. He's a sellout of note. For whatever reason, our people weaken the African National Congress for his own personal aggrandizement is what he has been. He will be remembered for that by history. We will not comment on the shenanigans and attempted anarchy that failed and that was rejected by the people of South Africa. Law-abiding and people who love this country and uphold the rule of law will understand that what the president has done to process the allegations that were made is the correct thing to do by a sitting president in a constitutional democracy, which is what President Ramaphosa has done, and that's what we as the ANC support. That what has been raised by the general is now receiving full attention and is being attended to. And South Africans must not forget that such things do and have happened in the past. You will remember the Bulelani Ngunga saga under President Mbeki, when he was accused that he's a spy. There was a commission of inquiry. When there was Marikana, the same Jacob Zuma, who's encouraging people because of his hatred for President Ramaphosa, encouraging people to march in vain for nothing, established a commission under Marikana, which decided that Ria Pierre, as a commissioner of police, must actually step aside. President Ramaphosa has done that in the constitutional democracy to investigate, to establish the root cause of this. And when the commission come with its recommendations, the president will be expected to implement. The same Jacob Zuma, who's marching today, established a commission for General Cele. General Cele was removed as a commissioner of police precisely because of allegations that were made, a matter that was overturned by the courts, a commission that Zuma established, which was chaired by Judge Muloi. So this is nothing new. And if anyone has got an alternative option, I've heard people saying, we have heard, like all South Africans, that the easy route is for people to be arrested, but you don't arrest people without evidence. This is not a banana republic. Things must be processed, and then once processed, under the principles of our jurisprudence that guide us, then on the basis of that, you then charge at individuals, and at the same time, the law will then prevail. So there are no shortcuts to this. And this commission has got broad terms of reference to look at the policing in our country and all the allegations and what can be done. After every 3 months, we'll get a preliminary report with specific recommendations, but equally the commission can make recommendation on anyone, on anything, whilst it is in session. That's what is encouraging. And matters now are before the commission, and they will then be processed in that particular context. We support the upholding of the rule of law.
Very much, Mr.
Thank you. Lindsay Denton, Eyewitness News. Mr. Mbalula, a big vote on the budget appropriation bill coming up in Parliament this week. Are there discussions with your GNU partners to make sure that this doesn't stall? And then related to the Western Cape, this is a troubled province for the party. What have you picked up so far? If you can share perhaps what you have picked up from your engagements over the last 2 years.
Well, we have just started now. Of course, we are here with the sole and purpose not to do the blame game, to look at the state of the organization and strengthen the party. We are not the strongest of parties in the Western Cape. And our preoccupation in terms of this visit is how do we make the ANC a viable alternative and a vibrant opposition in the Western Cape. And we can do that, and we'll do that, working hand in hand with our province here. Yes, of course, in the GNU, every item, like the passing of the budget is a hurdle, and the engagement will be on with political parties between now and Wednesday in terms of ensuring that we pass the appropriation. And at the same time, we get the budget across. So we will be doing that, exactly that, between now and Wednesday this week.
It's a bit late.
No, we are not late. We are not late. So as of now and today, we are talking to everyone. So that's what is important.
I am Theo Lindsay from Independent Media. Mr. Mbalula, what do you make of criticism that there's selective application of the step-aside rule when it comes to censoring?
There's no such a thing as selective application of step-aside rule. Step-aside deals with everyone. Once you appear in court, the step-aside rule will apply. You are arrested, step-aside rule will apply. Here in the ANC, when last did you see people supporting each other like Casey and Jojo go into court with ANC t-shirts? Doesn't apply anymore. You get arrested, you stand on your own. Step-aside rule applies. Those who vulgarize things shamelessly will say that no, the step-aside rule doesn't apply to Senzo. President have put Senzo aside with immediate effect. Argue the question of how that has happened, but is aside. We've got an acting minister who's chairing the meeting here inside. And I've explained to you, and I'm repeating it again, that Senzo will not step aside in relation to the ANC as an elected member. And he's got an opportunity now, in terms of the Audi principle, to also state the side of the story, of his story. Now, once we listen to that, it is also evaluated in terms of facts by a competent, independent judge and a panel, judicial commission, like the president have appointed. Then we can pass judgment. Let's allow the process to follow. This is what all South Africans look forward to. And then even ourselves, we're looking forward to that. So the principles of our jurisprudence allow that somebody's story must also be listened to. And if there's any wrongdoing on him and all of that, the ANC, in terms of its renewal process, things kick in. There are many ANC leaders and members who are on a step aside, who have appeared in courts, who have been arrested. We are the only party in South Africa that practices things even beyond the jurisprudence. Even Makashule failed to challenge the step-aside rule. It was affirmed by the Constitutional Court that there is nothing unconstitutional about the the step aside rule because it is entrenched in the ANC constitution itself. So there is nothing like selective justice and at the same time selective application of the rule of step aside on ANC members. There is nothing like that. If you are arrested, you appear before the courts. Even before you appear before the courts, once you are arrested, you step aside. So there are many members of the ANC who have actually been affected by this rule. Nobody else. All political parties in this country, you get arrested, you still stay on as a member. They only apply presumption of innocence. They don't apply other rules. The ANC, presumption of innocence, but over and above that, in terms of our constitution, we implement the step-aside rule for members of the ANC who are facing challenges of being chased by law enforcement.
Ushiye? Comment about the MCA. In Poland yesterday, your president was there. Some of the issues that were raised by the branches and the region are long-standing in terms of rebuilding the party in the Western Cape. Why is it difficult to get this trust of the crowd that if the reports you are getting across all 6 regions that you need to intervene or to do that as the ANC?
We are here for that. Reports are being presented inside now as I'm speaking to you. Tomorrow we will meet and process decisions of what must happen in terms of the reports that come from the regions. We will. There are a number of things which I don't want to. We will give you a feedback about the outcome of that NWC and the interventions we are going to make in the Eastern Cape. So there is definitely going to be action on issues that are raised to strengthen the African National Congress in the Western Cape.
Good question. Sophie would like to know if the meetings of the former liberation movement.
The former liberation movement week is this coming week, and it's a big weekend. All the former liberation movements will be here. As you know that we are chairing the former liberation movements as the ANC. All presidents of MPLA, SWAPO, Chama Chama Pendus, ZANU-PF, African National Congress, Frelimo will be here. And the Secretary Generals will also be here, followed by the party leagues will all be here. And then to chart the way forward. So this coming weekend, i-weekend enkulu kele uthi singumuntu wesizwe olwela inguqu nedabi eMzantsi Afrika. So all liberation movements, not former liberation movements, will be here in Southern Africa, and also there will be other sister parties all over Africa, Algeria, and so on. Will be here to attend the former liberation movement political summit. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, G.
En goos. Ik wil graag voor jou en praat Saver Afrika.